Hello everyone, it's me, and we're going to review the Mario Bros. Movie. This would be my third movie review, and I'm sure it won't be my last. As per usual, the first half of this video will be spoiler-free and family-friendly for those who just want to get an idea as to whether or not they'd like to see it. And the second half will have plenty of spoilers and not be so family-friendly. Let's-a go! The Super Mario Bros. Movie is a decent family film that most will enjoy seeing together, although, like the Sonic movies, it's certainly geared more towards the folks who play the games, as it dishes out a ton of fan service, and drops a lot of Easter eggs and sound effects, music, and other things in the backgrounds. Personally, I think it's a good thing when entertainers make entertainment for the fans, as opposed to appealing to a broader audience. The broader audience appeal often leads to inconsistencies that leaves the core audience feeling let down, and it's nice to see they did not do that here. Now, for people who don't really play the games, is there anything for you to enjoy here? It depends. If you have kids that play the games and you're at least vaguely familiar with the material, you'll at least get some enjoyment watching your kids enjoy it. My son and I had a great time watching. Otherwise, you may find this movie doesn't do a whole lot for you. So how's the story? Fine for a kid's video game movie. Nobody should be expecting world-class storytelling with this. It is a kid's movie after all. It's simple, straight to the point, and I think it holds up well for what it is. The humor is okay. It's not side-splitting or anything. Again, it's a kid's movie and you should manage your expectations accordingly. But to give you an idea, I don't think it was quite as funny as the first Sonic movie. I'd say for a film roughly in the same category, Sonic 1 did a better job with the jokes. The humor in Mario relies pretty heavily on slapstick humor. Not necessarily a bad thing, of course, but I think if they were a bit more clever with the dialogue, they could probably get a few more laughs out of the adult audience. I'd also like to take a moment to address the voice acting in this movie, as it was initially a point of contention with fans when the movie was first announced. I thought the voice acting was mostly good. I understand why they couldn't just use original voice actors because a feature-length, high-pitched Mario or Peach would be enough to drive you nuts. Chris Pratt, I think, did a great job as Mario. He even did a decent job with the occasional woohoos and mamma mias. Charlie Day was a near-perfect pick for Luigi, and Jack Black was perfect for Bowser. I absolutely can't think of anyone else I would pick for the role. He did great. Anya Taylor-Joy was a fairly decent pick for Peach, but the real shortcoming came with Donkey Kong. Seth Rogen seemed utterly replaceable. He didn't alter his voice in any way to try and shape up the character. I don't much care for Seth, as a voice actor or a person, quite frankly. I really wish people would stop hiring him. He truly lacks the talent and the effort needed. Also, I think it's worth mentioning, Charles Martinet, the original voice actor of Mario, Luigi, and much of the cast of the Mario franchise, does make a cameo in the film, and it was kind of fun. The character actually bears some resemblance to him. So is this movie perfect? Was it everything Nintendo fans were hoping for? No, certainly not. But it was pretty decent, and it makes for a great family film. I'd say it's worth a watch. Just one more thing, however, a point of criticism before moving on to the second half of this video. I'd say the marketing for this film should have been adjusted. The trailers revealed a bit too much for my liking. Now, if you're somebody who doesn't really care about spoilers, then that won't really bother you that much. Speaking of spoilers, we'll now segue this video into the spoiler section, which will not be family-friendly in the least. This would be a good place to stop the video if you don't want spoilers or if you have kids in the room. Spoilers and foul language incoming. Here we go! Like all of my movie reviews so far, unfortunately due to the state of modern entertainment, I have to address the fucking elephant in the room. Is the movie full of woke bullshit? I'd say no, but there is a hint of it creeping in with Peach's character, sadly. As mentioned earlier in the video, Anya did a decent job with the voice acting, but she wanted to do more of the girl boss thing. In other words, act like an unlikable bitch. And a bit of that did shine through. A bit. Rumor has it, however, Nintendo actually stepped in during the early stages of this film and had to straighten the team out, telling them this is a Mario movie, he has to be the hero. And thankfully, he did end up being just that. I'd say they didn't make Peach insufferable, but there was a couple of lines that made me narrow my eyelids a bit. All that said, I am willing to give her a pass for a few reasons. The first one being that, as a fan of the Mario franchise, I know she isn't a Mary Sue. because I know that she actually has powers. She's been a playable character across a number of games for probably longer than most of my audience has been alive. I actually enjoy her abilities, so much so that I typically do pick her whenever it's an option. The second reason is that since she is a princess who's trying to lead the Mushroom Kingdom into war, she kinda does have to have a certain degree of assertiveness. Her leadership wouldn't be very believable if she appeared too weak. The third reason being, the character actually looks like Peach. I think y'all know what I mean. Considering the woke bullshit in the entertainment industry, I'll take that as a win. Things could have been a lot worse. But instead, she was still feminine looking, and she maintained the cute princess look that we've all grown up with. So, was she a flawed character? Certainly. But I found the flaws mostly tolerable. They should keep a close eye on her character development in the sequel that I'm sure will be made. She's teetering on the edge of becoming more likable or hated. So what is this movie actually about? Well, Mario and Luigi are plumbers! They actually made them plumbers! They actually did it. They've recently started their own business in Brooklyn, but they're still waiting on their first customer. First customer they received goes less than ideally. Later they come home to their parents and family that I wasn't expecting to see at all, but with the exception of the mom, they're pretty hard on the Mario brothers for their lack of success so far. Mario and Luigi see an opportunity for their big break when a massive flood happens in the streets of Brooklyn. When they get there, they go into the manhole cover, one thing leads to another, and they find the green pipe. When they go through, Mario and Luigi end up getting separated, and thus the plot becomes a rescue effort for Luigi. Mario is eventually led by Toad to speak with Peach, and to ask for her help in the rescue effort. But first, she wants his assistance in recruiting the Kong army, as Bowser and his forces quickly approach the Mushroom Kingdom. It's made clear that the princess needs the Kong army if she expects the Mushroom Kingdom to survive. Peach insists that she needs to see what Mario is made of. This is where she takes some time to mentor him, as she sets up an obstacle course showing him how to make his way through it. Overall, I thought this scene did make sense, since she did grow up there, and of course would be more knowledgeable about this world than he is. And it gave Mario a chance to become more familiar with this new world and its power-ups. Occasionally we get to see what Bowser and his minions are plotting, in which it's revealed that his plan is to force the princess into marrying him, with a threat that he will completely destroy the entirety of the Mushroom Kingdom if she refuses. It's at this point that we see a bit of a flaw in Bowser's character, in which he is madly in love with the princess, leading to some embarrassing moments, shall we say. Some of that was funny, but I think I would have preferred if he felt more threatening. Now to speed things up here so this review isn't a direct play-by-play, Peach becomes a bit more of a likable character, they end up successfully recruiting the Kong army after Mario bests Donkey Kong in combat, and in the meantime the movie continues to deliver fan service with great references to the source material, and eventually they go karting on Rainbow Road, and they manage to catch up in time to ensure the wedding is stopped. I thought most of the final act was done pretty well, but with one point of contention on my part. Bowser successfully gets Peach to surrender when he threatens to crush Toad. When the wedding is about to commence, Mario and Donkey Kong manage to catch up, but only in time to rescue Luigi, and Peach manages to rescue herself with an ice flower power-up hidden in the bouquet she's holding. I didn't much care for this aspect because it should have been Mario who rescues her. This would have been more in keeping with the source material. I would have been okay if Mario threw an ice flower to her and most of the sequence played out the same, but in this instance I feel he should have had more involvement with her rescue. Now all that said, Mario does get his chance to rescue her and everyone else in the end of the final act. Through the chaos, they manage to bring the entire Koopa base and Bowser's forces into Brooklyn through a warp pipe. It's at this point that Bowser really gets the upper hand, and both Donkey Kong and Peach are unable to stop him. This led up to one of my favorite moments in the movie. When all seems lost, Mario stands up to Bowser. After Mario gets used like a punching bag by Bowser, Luigi actually jumps in with his moment to shine. He finds his bravery and uses a manhole cover as a shield to protect Mario from Bowser's flames. It was at this moment both brothers grabbed the Power Star, and together they obliterated Bowser's forces and Bowser himself. I'm happy to say things ended properly with this movie, with Mario and Luigi being the ones to save the day. And for all of its flaws, my son and I enjoyed ourselves. I look forward to the inevitable sequel, with both caution and optimism. Keep delivering the fan service, Nintendo, and ensure quality control over your IP, and I'm sure things will go just fine. That concludes this movie review. If you liked what you saw, keep in mind most of my videos are actually Let's Play videos. If that sounds up your alley, then feel free to follow me on Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, Utreon, FruitLab, or DTube. Links to that and more in the description. That is it for this video, and I will see you in the next video.